Good morning. Hey, how y'all doing? This good Monday or Sunday, Lord child. Today's Sunday. Thank you. Hey, Jamie. Hey, Boo. Thank you, Boo. All right, let's get into this read. Welcome back to my channel. This is Adana, also known as the Afrozine. And today I'm reading for the beautiful, handsome collective. Hello, collective. How you doing? Flowers, flowers, flowers. Flowers, flowers, flowers. Flowers, flowers, flowers. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell. To book a private reading with me or to shop in my store. All that information is in the description box below. Please keep in mind that today is the last day before my prices go up in regards to all of my services here. I currently have a 50% sale that is currently going on today. 50% includes 30-minute reads at 50%. So it is currently at $62.50 for a 30-minute read. Today is the last day to get that sale. Also, I do have sprays that are also on sale. Okay, 50% off as well too. And then also I have my book here called Wisdom Beyond Wounds that I have created for the collective here to help you guys get out of number one, harm's way, to help heal your experiences that you may have experienced or endured when you were actually connected or dealing with an actual narcissistic person here. Okay, so let's move forward here. All right. So channel message here is, and I'm going to break down the psychological aspect in regards to, okay, I'll help you. Bye. Okay, there you go. You don't ever have to tell me that you don't like something about what I do or you need to leave. Just leave. You won't put no, I'm not going to be upset. I lose one, I gain two more. I don't care about that. Okay. Anywho, I'm going to break down the psychological aspect in regards to today's read as to why these narcissistic individuals are acting in the way that they're acting currently. Okay. So, channel message is they know people are trying to take them out. All right. So, in my meditative state earlier, I heard help, I heard danger, like I heard those actual words help, danger. Then I heard crash and boom. It was lots of crashing, a lot of booming, a lot of bouncing around while I was in my meditative state here. And I heard someone say, what am I going to do now? What am I going to do now? And the reason why they were saying that is they feel like that people are actually out to get them. Okay. Um, they're so paranoid to the point that they can't trust anyone. They couldn't trust anyone before, but I feel like they use that as a form of, so let me rephrase that. They needed people to see their points of view when it came to you here, and they were very elated and very gleeful in trying to make sure that they did that. Okay. And the moment that they felt they were very successful, this is when they felt like that they were either the king of the world or the queen of the world. Okay. But things have completely shifted or turned back onto them here where they're so paranoid to the point that they can't even trust the individuals that they actually recruited initially to come towards you here. Okay. So every person that they cross path with, they think they have a hidden agenda towards them. And that's because you spoke out in regards to what they did to you. So now you have this person in a fight or flight type of energy here. Okay. So when it comes to paranoia surrounding a narcissistic individual that has been completely outed or people are aware that they're truly narcissistic in nature here, when they feel caught, it comes from the collapse of their false self, okay? The image they built to appear in control, admired, and feeling superior to others. So when the illusion cracks, There's several psychological defense mechanisms that tend to collide based on the illusions that they wanted people to see it as. So the first one here is exposure to threat or exposure threat. So being caught means their carefully constructed mask has slipped. Okay. Narcissists live in a consistent or constant performance loop, but on how others perceive them. So when someone sees beyond that mask, they fear public humiliation, rejection, or loss of power. Okay. Paranoia grows because they start believing everyone sees what they're trying to hide, their insecurity, their manipulation, or their deceit. Going back to what I stated before, guilt makes a person tilt. Okay, so because of how severely guilty that they feel here, they're going on to basically prove the point to others that they are guilty in regards to what they have done towards you here. Okay. The next one is fear of losing control. Okay. So control is their safety net. That's what they need to feel superior over you. And if they don't have control, they don't have anything. So when they're caught, the narrative that they initially were using begins to the narrative that they were using initially begins to unravel in front of their face and in front of everyone's face here. So paranoia surfaces as a desperate attempt to regain control. Okay. They may start assuming others are plotting against them, gossiping, or turning people away from them. It's not always based on reality. It's their mind's way of defending against vulnerability. So they can't feel vulnerable, or they don't know how to feel vulnerable with the things that they have done towards you here. So they just automatically assume, again, the guilt gonna make them tilt. They're putting themselves out there when they really shouldn't have to put themselves out there. But yet again, because they are so guilty in regards to what they have done towards you here, they can't stop that true part or true nature of self to actually, yeah, they can't hide that true part of themselves here, okay? So it's not always based on reality, it's just based on their illusioned perception of things. The next one is ego injury and projection. So the narcissistic person or their ego here cannot tolerate shame or accountability at any part or any point in time. So instead of admitting fault, they project. It's the collective's fault that I'm in this situation. It's the collective's fault that they wouldn't this. It's the collective's fault I wouldn't that. If the collective would have let me do this wouldn't have happened. So yes, there again, that's a form of guilt. Projection is nothing but guilt. That's what it is. You didn't do anything towards a person and you triggered them because you know the truth or you found out what the truth is, and the first thing they want to do is to project onto you. Well, that's their guilty conscience that is making them operate in that way so they can take the heat off of them. If that makes sense. So the paranoia often sounds like, you're lying on me. You're delusional. You're not making sense. I never did that. I never this, blah, 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 yeah. Okay. They may also say things like, everyone's out to get me, or you're trying to make me look bad. You're trying to make them look bad. You don't have to try anything because they're already doing what you don't have to try, if that makes sense. You're trying to make me look bad. You don't have to try anything because they're already doing it for themselves. They externalize their guilt by accusing others of the very things that they're truly guilty of. Next one is internal fragmentation. Underneath the mask lies a very deep, fragile identity that depends on validation. Let me repeat that. Underneath the mask lies a deep, fragile identity that solely depends on validation. So when they are caught, or when they feel that they are caught, their sense of self continues to fracture. It was already fractured to begin with, but now they strongly feel that people see them in this spotlight, see them in the way that they never wanted other people to see. the self of themselves here fractures even more. It's kind of funny and more so ironic here, maybe very contradictory as well, because these are the type that have a very inflated ego where they want to be seen by everybody. They don't care who, or whatever it takes, but they have to make sure that they're being seen by everyone, which i.e. Connects or resonates or correlates to being in the spotlight. Not so, but they weren't very specific in regards to the type of spotlight that they wanted to be in, which is very ironic and very contradictory if you ask me. So even though they kind of strut themselves in front of everyone to be seen as this, whatever, this big, whatever, bravado, strong, whatever person here, the moment that the actual spotlight comes onto them in a way that they never anticipated, because there's two sides to everything, right? They only show one part to one aspect of themselves towards other people. That's why I always tell you guys to make sure there's a balance in everything that you do. You're going to understand more the more that you learn to discover yourself, or you're finding yourself while you're in meditation, while you're in isolation, while you're by yourself, however it resonates here. Okay. But with that being said here, so their sense of self continues to fracture, because again, it was already fractured. They just cover it up. We'll say cotton balls, because cotton balls look like clouds, and it could be very illusionary, in this point of view or aspect here. So they're utilizing cotton balls to more so patch up the fractures of themselves here. And we all know cotton balls can only be used for like a very short period of time. It's not a permanent fix. It's a temporary solution to help aid you in whatever it is that you're wanting to use the cotton balls for, if that makes sense. So paranoia becomes the glue to hold those pieces together. So again, we're going to use the cotton balls as a form of paranoia from this point of view here. And they're putting all the cotton balls together to create this bigger, elaborate something so no one can see past the cracks. Because behind the cracks of them, that's where the paranoia actually sits. That's why they go so hard to ensure that you can't see past what they're trying to hide from others, if that makes sense. So it's their psyche scrambling to make sense of exposure without accepting self-blame. All right. So anticipation of consequences. They subconsciously know that being exposed means potential abandonment or loss of admiration. Again, they love to strut themselves in front of everyone to see, whether it's a party setting, a family setting, friend setting, community setting, etc., here. The paranoia becomes fear or anticipated fear, believing punishment or rejection is coming, even if no one's threatening it. So they already have in their back of their mind, which again tells me, again, and proves my point again after again after again, time after time again, is that they're fully aware as to what they are doing. Yes, they are. Why would they feel so paranoid if they keep saying they ain't doing the things that they're doing, if that makes sense? They keep saying they ain't doing it. They'll tell you, oh, you can't prove it. Prove it. Oh, no one would believe you. Okay. These are the things that they always say towards individuals like yourself here. And for the ones that have proven their point, if that makes sense, time after time again, the paranoia was already within them, which is why they went the extra mile to ensure that they can cause some form of debilitated harm or chaos or ending for you here. So all in all, their paranoia is a self-defense storm. Yes, it is. It is a mix of fear, guilt, shame, and control panic that they place themselves in. It's a self-imposed place that they place themselves in here, which at the end activates their illusion of perfection when it is threatened by the truth. So yet again, narcissist individuals always talking about how they are the truth. I'm the truth, and I this, and I'm attached to myself, and I believe in this, and I believe in that. And once you're able to kind of see, where the holes are, because there are a lot of holes within themselves pertaining to the lies here, you be like, that's not true. And you call them out on the actual lie that they said was true here. They feel threatened by you. They're always wanting the truth. They claim that they are the truth, but yet again, Energy is energy. And if you know how energy works, you'll be much more aware, um, or cognizant in regards to the things that you actually speak, because believe it or not, you guys are very powerful in your own rights, whether you want to believe it or not. Yes, you are. Whether you are speaking from a positive aspect of things or a negative aspect of things. But all in all, your words are very powerful. And they always speaking things in a way where they come off as powerful, right? So why would they not think or assume that the so-called power in their words, and their words are more so from a negative standpoint of self, or negative standpoints of things when it comes to them here, why would they not think that would not manifest into their reality? They keep claiming that they're powerful. This is how they see the world. No one can touch them. No one can break them down. No one can say anything to them to get them off of this, we'll say, sandcastle of illusions here. This is how they perceive themselves amongst you guys here. And they keep screaming, oh, I'm powerful, and I'm powerful, and I'm powerful, and you ain't, and you would never, yeah. It's all negative projections onto you or to the collective here. And that same power that they keep saying that they have finally shows them truly what type of power that they have. The power that they're looking into the mirror, the words that they spoke about themselves and project onto other people is now falling right back into their lap, and they can't handle their own power. Hear that? They don't understand their power. They can't handle their power. They can't even look themselves in the mirror. If that makes sense. Yes. Trizes on YouTube states,